How will the UK cope with the Queen's passing? She will respawn at a randomly appointed location and Charles will never be king. Theoretically, Charles could pull a trick where he covers Great Britain with slabs to make the whole place spawn proof. He'd have to use creative mode though. No way he'd be able to pull it off in survival. If she passes, or has already, today, we'll be welcoming in a new PM and new monarch in the same week. I'm not sure how that would affect me personally, if at all, but it's certainly going to create a chaotic transition period. Edit, and there we go. Announced almost as soon as I posted this. Politically, this couldn't be better for Liz Truss, right? Instead of spending her first 2 weeks dealing with the shambles of Conservative Party policy and practice plus the fallout of coming right after Bojo, Truss gets to do nothing but appear statesmanlike for a couple weeks, appropriately memorialize the Queen, hit the reset button on everything policy-wise, and start with a clean slate. 625 days from outlasting Louis XIV. To be fair, he became a king when he was a child. Had the same happened to Queen Elizabeth II, she would have surpassed him in the 2000s. If William and Charles both get into an accident, King George could have a go at Louis XIV's record. Promote a pawn to a new queen? Wait, can you do that? Yes, you can. Source, https://n.wikipedia.org/wiki/promotion_chess and chess player. I guess Elton John will have to repropose another old song. Maybe Crocodile Rock. And it seems to me, you lived your life like a crocodile rock. Never knew me a better time, and I guess I never will. I would like to know you, but you were a crocodile. Charles will be so excited to finally be king he'll kick over from a heart attack. Could you imagine being told from the time you're a young child and one day you'll be king? Then 70 years go by and you're just like, what the fuck? Especially since other monarchs like the Dutch abdicated when they started to get into retirement age. Yeah, Elizabeth was crowned when Juliana was queen. Eventually Juliana abdicated in favor of her daughter Beatrix, and Beatrix abdicated in favor of her son Willem Alexander nearly 10 years ago. And even Juliana got the throne after the abdication of her mother, Wilhelmina. And from the 3 Willems before her, only the second sat truly till his death. Whatever they're feeling, eventually they'll probably be rolling in the aisles when Charles dies of old age soon after taking the throne. Won't be anywhere near as long as his mum's 70+ year reign. That's all there was. That's all I get? Death. Afraid so. The Sandman. Man, I haven't read that shit in like 15 years, but that's from the scene with the baby. Isn't it immediately sent a pang of sadness through me? I would feel bad for Prince Charles. Guy waited 73 years for his first job. Must be rough. Well, technically, Prince of Wales is a job. He just waited for the promotion. And once a man asked him about it, and he said something like, "You're asking me if I can't wait for my mother to die." Simba would like a word. I've only been to the UK twice in my life, but if I had to guess, drinking. They're going to drink about it. Edit. Looks like it happened. Cheers lads and ladies, drink up. Shit Guatsthi have sussed us out. The pub will be packed, and choruses of God Save the Queen will sound throughout the nation. I'm assuming lol. 90% of us are just wondering if we will get her extra day off work. Extra day. She's the queen. I demand a week off. RIP. Plus funeral day, and plus another for the coronation. And a couple of grief days. New king will fail to consolidate power. Rebellion in the north and rumors of an army of the undead beyond the wall will appear. Army of the undead. We just call them the Scots. On my command, unleash Elton John. By making shitty memes about it on Reddit and such. I swear if I find one of those memes where they photoshop a load of people into heaven, and she's in it. I can't believe I found out the Queen died through a fucking Reddit post. To be fair, this was posted about 2 hours before she died. The rumors were already swirling around. This was posted because of them. It was said that she was in poor health this morning. Then all the royal family were called in. Then BBC started wearing black. It was happening all morning. Most people had pretty much guessed, but it hadn't been officially confirmed. Doesn't a royalty have to be made from her ashes, which has to be consumed by the new ruler within 24 hours to absorb her powers? That's just a rumor she started. It'll actually cause her spirit to take over the younger body and continue ruling. Somehow Palpatine Elizabeth has returned. I think a lot of people underestimate what a big thing this is going to be. If you read the accounts of what is planned, it is enormous in terms of days of national mourning, Busanese is being expected to shut, bank holidays, using football stadiums for memorial services etc. TV stations and radio being expected to stick to respectful programming. It'll be the only thing the news covers for days. Then there's the funeral and coronation, which will both be events that the country hasn't seen the like of for decades because of how long she's been on the throne. The Queen really is loved by a lot of people, and for many more serves as a sort of unchanging point of stability. I think there will be plenty of people who are genuinely very upset, and many more who aren't upset, but still feel a sense of loss. Of course the country will cope, but it's going to be a much more monumental thing than some people appreciate. Also the media will go a bit deranged. Our more conservative papers will be calling for full national shutdown to observe mourning. There'll undoubtedly be celebrities, politicians, and members of the public cancelled for being deemed insufficiently sad. When Prince Philip died things got a bit silly, and this is going to be that times a million. Edit. Really bad timing that I posted this literally an hour before the Queen's death was announced. RIP Queen Elizabeth II. It'll probably be the biggest news ever in the UK and other Commonwealth countries. Other countries, it'd make the news, but it wouldn't stop their day. Everyone will stop what they're doing to get to a TV set or radio. Work will be dismissed for the day to allow mourning. When I worked at a media group in the UK, we had a special protocol in case the Queen ever did die. Had a special phone number that was reserved only for this event. Dialing it even by accident would result in heavy repercussions. You'd also need to be aware that this could happen at any time. I worked the graveyard shift, 7 PM to 7 AM, so even if this happened at 3 AM, you'd need to respond fast. And when I say fast, I mean some of the fastest response times I've ever had to deal with. You'd be given 10 minutes from the story coming up to acknowledging it and notifying that special number one mentioned, my manager and the chief editor. If you fail to do all that in 10 minutes, you'd be fined £50,000. That was the average late slaffy back then. Because they needed to ensure all the newspapers, all the TV news stations and all other media sources online had the feed. So basically, we'd find out everything that's happened newsworthy 10 minutes before the rest of the world, if that makes sense. Sorry to drone on. My NDA expired about a year ago, so I made sure I was okay to post this. I kinda have to laugh after reading all about these strict, formal protocols in communicating her death, that I've just had a BBC alert pop up on my phone notifying me of her death. I'm in the US. I got a pop-up from my local news station. The first place I went to after seeing that was the BBC World News. Because I knew, if it had happened, they would be covering it. I have to say one thing about the BBC, that is far superior to US news. They report the facts as they are given them. The reporters' jobs are entirely separate from the political analyst's job. It's extremely refreshing. I think it will cause a reckoning with the British self that has been held off for a long time. The time when Elizabeth II became Queen, mixed with her style of leadership and longevity, has allowed the British people to put off a close inspection of what they want to be in modern times. While her role may be seen as merely symbolic, she has remained a leader in a way few monarchs have in this age. QEI presided over the second half of the transition from WWII to peacetime and the second part of the disassembly of the empire. She provided link to those periods and kept them alive. Charles simply cannot be a monarch the way Elizabeth II is. That time is over. That time passed long ago, but she managed to ride out every ripple and tsunami of change that might have made it impossible for her to continue. It's not just that people view Charles as a bit of a waste of space, whereas they see Elizabeth as someone of some substance, the princess who fought in the war and a leader with Winston Churchill. Times have just changed, and it happened long ago. I think will mean a lot also for the Welsh and the Scots, who feel greater and greater entitlement to their autonomy, and maybe even the north of England versus the south. One big thing that held them together will be gone. The royal family will likely be forced to scale down a lot and just be more like regular filthy rich people, like the Dutch royal family. There will be another northern revolt with the French invading from the Channel. The Welsh will attack the Midlands and we will all be shagging sheep by the end of the year. The hooligans will get so drunk in their morning they'll start a massive war. No way the sheep shaggers trademark will stand a chance. The end. Thanks for watching.